I'm trusted up inside, but nonetheless I feel the need to say I don't know the past, but the future looks imperial every day. So now that it's all said and done, it's about that time we had some fun. Just look on the bright side and let's rewind. I don't know the past, but the future looks imperial every day. So now that it's all said and done, it's about that time we had some fun. Just look on the bright side and let's rewind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, whoa. Well, let's rewind.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Rewind, where we rewind a little bit, go back a few days, and bring you up to speed with everything that happened at our latest event, which, of course, was Monarchs Madness. If you weren't there, oh my God, you missed out. What a packed crowd. How loud you guys were. It was phenomenal. I came out of that curtain with goosebumps on my arm. It was insane. However, a lot happened last Saturday, good and bad, in my opinion. And I'm not gonna beat around the bush and make excuses for people. We're gonna dive right into it because, of course, this is what a lot of people like to look at as the highlight show. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am DJB, your general manager for Imperial Wrestling Federation, and well, let's get into it. Our very first match of the night was, as a few good friends of mine would say, it was a banger. And that was for the Sovereign Shield Championship. Spawn was defending his belt against Tommy Cartel, a very, very big name indeed. So let's have a look at a few of the highlights. And please feel free to drop comments as we're watching. Enjoy. Few highlights there. You will have to go and watch the full show later on Patreon, and I'll tell you exactly when that gets dropped later. It was an absolutely fantastic match, and I do see you all in the comments there. Good evening, Becky. I hope you're fine. Good evening, Sulphur, and I hope you're right. I loved what you said last Saturday. Very, very strong message there. Evening, Jordan Robson. Nice to see you there. Boo this man. No, boo you, my friend. Good evening, Ethan Dixon, doing some great camera work last Saturday. Ed Hunter, I seen you in attendance sitting at that front row. Evening, Brevs and Brevettes, nice to see you. Hey, Dr. Quack in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Even though he lost, Tommy gave a good showing. Yeah, cannot argue with you for 1 second there. Absolutely amazing technical match between two amazing wrestlers. I'm still thinking about. I've watched the match about 5 or 6 times now, and I still keep thinking about that one, the pins, back and forward, and the screams coming from Tommy and Spawn. Absolutely brilliant. You should have heard me on commentary, and you can hear me on commentary later on if you go and get the full show on Patreon. But that was just the start of what was an amazing night, folks. Because after that fantastic opening contest, we moved on to a number one contendership match. We were going to find out who would become the new contender to the IWF Championship. Would it be the new spark, Johnny Thunder, or heavy artillery Rory Shaw? Here is a few highlights. Enjoy. And of course, as you see there, our new number one contender to the IWF Championship, the new spark, Johnny Thunder. Another amazing match. It's so great to see, especially the likes of Johnny Thunder and Rory Shaw in IWF. Rory Shaw bringing a fantastic fight to Thunder, but Thunder ultimately coming out on top. And we will find out in a very short time just who Johnny Thunder is going to be facing at our next show. Will it be Johnny Flashback, his tag team partner, or will it be Persona? You'll find out very soon, folks, but we are going to move swiftly onward to our third match, and this was one I was terrified about seeing. You saw the build-up for weeks. You've seen Lilith getting kidnapped by Nate Sawyer, the torture she was under. You seen what the demon did, setting fires, going on an absolute rampage, attacking trainees. And, well, it all culminated at Monarchs Madness in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So here are a few highlights before we talk about what happened. Enjoy. And as you saw there, Nate Sawyer coming out victorious. Not without the help of what was in that little white bottle that Scar handed Nate Sawyer. And in case some of you didn't see it beforehand, that bottle had two words on it: holy water. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what holy water can do to a demon. And unfortunately, the outcome was Dagon going through that table. 1, 2, 3, Nate Sawyer picks up the victory. However, there is a silver lining you can kind of think about this, because the family is reunited. Lilith, Spawn, and Dagon are back together, and that does bring us on to a match that was made in the moment. Here, right after this match, Spawn coming out, fending off Nate Sawyer, throwing him onto some thumbtacks that were in the ring, and then pulling me into the ring and asking for the match. Spawn versus Nate Sawyer next month, October 11th, Reign of Terror. And you know what? I was inclined to agree with Spawn, give him the match, but I told him it will be for that Sovereign Shield Championship. So there's your first match for our next show, given to you right there, announced right now, live on air. I do hope Dagon is doing okay. I haven't heard from any of them, really. I really have no idea. Poor Lilith, hope she's resting up. Yeah, I really hope she's resting up and recovering. When she came out, did you see all the marks on her legs? Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I'd like to know how Nate Sawyer got a hold of holy water. Yeah, how did Nate Sawyer get a hold of that holy water? That's a very, very good question, Ed. I would like to know the answer to that. We then move on to our next match of the evening, folks, and this was for the Regal Duos Championships. We had the Detriment, Hybrid, and Alfie Jackson defending against Strange Street's Big Brev, Walk Up Wall Street, and the Polish Party Brev, Jakub. I do have some highlights from the match, and then, well, we've got a few words from someone. As you've seen in the footage there, during the match, the Druids, the Goons, as me and Colin were referring to them all night, dragging Jakub off, leaving Walker, I'm not going to say defenseless because it's the Big Brev, but you've seen what the Detriment were doing, you've seen what they were targeting, and he had to talk about that is the Big Brev. One half of Strange Street, it is Walker Wall Street. Hello, Brev.
Yeah, Brev.
I mean, is it stupid to ask how you're feeling?
No, not really. You know what? I've got some good and bad news. That's the best way I can say this. You see, some of the good news is my ankle is fine, and I will be at the next show.
Oh.
Bad news is I don't know if I'll be able to compete because my knee, well, is not so good, and I'm waiting for, well, a doctor's opinion on what should happen. But I will be at the show. I'm standing somewhat okay, but it just goes to show when someone's scared, they'll do anything, and I mean anything necessary to, well, take out the person that they're scared of, right? And I mean, they've made a deal with the devil, and the Detriment was scared. They knew that we had that in the bag, and, well, they've teamed up with Persona by the looks of it.
Coward's move. That's what it is. It's a coward's move. Dragging young Jakub off like that, and then after the match as well, Persona coming out and smashing your leg. It's. I think it's because he knows you are a challenge. You are the Big Brev. You're a mountain of a man, and he knows it deep down. He does.
You see, when me and Persona faced, you could see that scared little boy. His eyes tell the truth. He can mask it as much as he wants, but when your body starts to crumble and you start to witness how scared he really is, I mean, it just proves that he's not all that. He's not the best in the world. He's cheated every single time he's had a match so far in IWF. And I can't see it ending anytime soon.
I'm trying. Believe you me, I'm trying, man. I'm sick of it too. I'm completely sick of it. But look, you see, you're going to be at the next show. That's absolutely fantastic. I personally, I hope you can compete.
Me too, bro.
I love seeing the Big Brev in that ring.
I just got my new attire as well. Like, I just got my new attire. He got scared. You know, everyone was backing me and Jakub, and we looked the part. We looked like a proper team. And I think that's what the Detriment didn't expect. They didn't expect for the match to be going ahead with Alfie Jackson's fake note, clearly. We seen within the match, he didn't have a bad leg.
Our official Brian, he showed me that note. I got up, and I could. It was printed. You could see at the bottom. It was printed on a Kodak printer, and no, just no. So that got ripped up very, very quickly. And I loved how you ripped all of his garments off, all of that fake patient stuff. Fantastic.
I had a really good time as well. It was fantastic. I mean, you know, me and Jakob were fighting on injuries. Now just imagine what me and Jakob would be like fighting fit.
Exactly. Imagine if you 100%. We'd be looking. I think we'd be looking at New Regal Duos Tag Team Champions right now.
We were literally about to be, and the way I see it, if Jakob hit that crazy 450 splash on Alfie Jackson,
I know. Oh,
but there was something within that match actually that sort of turned me a little bit of, is this right? Is this wrong? Teaming with Jakob. Yes, he's young and he's new to the wrestling industry. He got excited.
Yep.
But to me, my knowledge, you know, you can touch your tag team partner and it's not a tag. But for some reason, Ryan Chaplow counted as a tag even though we didn't tag.
So, as far as I'm aware, any physical, I'm sure it's chest and above, any physical touch counts as a tag. As long as you're in that tag. I don't know. We will have to check that, but I know what part of the match you're referring to. And look, as you said, though, he's young. How old is he? 14 years old, 15? You were that young once.
True. You know, I think I'm just a little bit bitter because I'm in pain, but, you know, I don't have any regrets within that match. The only regret I have is not kicking the crap out of them too, and then I should have known that Persona was going to be lingering about.
Yeah.
But
as soon as you see the goons, the stench of Persona isn't lingering far behind.
I will. Do you know what? As well, I will give the Detriment a little bit of credit. They took a lot more punishment than I thought they could actually generally take. Although they did have a little bit of help with taking Jakob away and Persona attacking me after. I thought they would have had that little bit of dignity. But no, they attacked me after as well. But you know what? I probably would have done the same back in a couple of years ago. I probably would have done the same. But one thing I will make clear is Persona will never do this sort of damage to anyone. And I mean anyone that is within my circle, that is with the Imperial Circle. Now he can go do it to the Detriment. I don't care about them. He can go do it to Rory Shaw. But any of the guys that stand for the Empire, he will never physically hurt like that. And that's a promise. Whether I have to hobble in and stop him doing it, I don't care.
Big promise from the Big Brev. Oof. Well, Walker, I'm going to say thank you very much for coming on here tonight. Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans, or anything you'd like to say to anyone you might potentially be facing in the future? The floor is yours.
Honestly, with the future of my leg, I don't want to call out any names. I don't know what's going to be happening soon or later, how long I'm possibly going to be out for. But I can guarantee I'll be at the next show and I'll be keeping a close eye on Persona. And I have a little backup plan if I can't wrestle. But
all right,
I will be enjoying the show if I can't wrestle. And you can guarantee I'll be sitting with the fans if I can't wrestle.
Well, I know a few of those fans, if they see you sitting in that crowd, they're going to come swarming right over here.
Indeed, but you know, we're there to enjoy the show regardless. And if you weren't able to make the last show, please go support us on the Imperial's Patreon to watch the videos back, because it's not one to be missed. And if you feel like them highlights was something interesting I promise you, that's not everything. That's just a small snippet.
Yeah, it's a very small snippet. Well, Walker, thank you very much for coming on here. I'm not going to take up much more of your time. I know you've got some rest and relaxation to get to. And knowing you, I know you've got a new FIFA game to get to, friend. So you have fun, and I will catch you later on. Take care of that leg, okay?
Remember, we're Imperial.
Imperial. Thank you, Walker, for coming on. I really do hope that he can compete next month. But he's such a nice guy, Big Brev. Ethan, yeah, yeah, Ethan will be straight over. If Big Brev is sitting in that crowd, and he'll be right over there. Walker's biggest fan. Gotta be. But then we do move on to our second to last match of the evening for Monarchs Madness, folks. And this was the David versus Goliath match of Adrenaline Kid taking on JJ Nova. Enjoy a few highlights here, folks. I know, you know what? You'll see. So you might have noticed the highlights for this match were considerably shorter than the rest. And that's because, well, as many predicted before this match, JJ Nova, the true super heavyweight, making his IWF debut against Adrenaline Kid, just proved to be far too much for Adrenaline Kid, delivering not one, but two of those pile drivers. Oh my. I haven't heard from Adrenaline Kid. I hope he's okay. I'm pretty sure he got checked out. His neck got checked out after. And if it was serious, I'm sure I would have heard something by now. Maybe Sulfrana could shed some light on how he's feeling. No idea. Not highlights. It was the entire match. I was trying to sugarcoat it. That wasn't the entire match. You can catch that on Patreon. Yes, you know what? JJ Nova proving he is the true heavyweight, a super heavyweight, and flattening Adrenaline Kid, in my opinion. And then, folks, of course, we did move on to our main event of the evening. The IWF Championship on the line as Persona defended against the Power of Love, Johnny Flashback. And now, when I opened the show of Monarchs Madness, I made it perfectly clear I'm rooting for Johnny Flashback 100%. Get the title off Persona. And well, here's some highlights from that main event. Just a few. And this is how it went. Enjoy. Well. 2 words. I'm pretty sure I said them to his face after the match. I cut it out of the video there. Cheating scumbag. And you've seen it in the highlights there. Persona using that a spanner or a wrench, Johnny Flashback's leg, which of course it did hinder him, slowed him down, stopped him from being able to get up to the top rope as quick as he usually would. I'm sick to death. I am. I'm absolutely sick to death of the way Persona goes on, and I am trying to do something about those goons. Now with this partnership, it's detriment. It's driving me insane. I've been on the job for what 3-4 weeks now, and already. Ugh. But that does mean we know what the IWF Championship match is going to be at Reign of Terror. It is going to be Persona defending that championship against the new spark, Johnny Thunder. Ed saying, yeah, it's getting a lot. And I noticed during the match as well, our official Brian Chaplow trying his best, doing a wonderful job. He ejected the goons. He caught Persona with the wrench, the spanner, and I do believe he grabbed the chair away as well. Trying his best, but still, it's just I'm starting to think we maybe need another referee. Somebody said it to me as well at the end of Monarchs Madness. Maybe get another referee, and you know what? I can't seem to get that idea out of my head. Who knows? But that does bring us on to our next show, which of course you will have seen advertised. Reign of Terror, Saturday the 11th of October at Chairs Bar, the home of IWF in Sunderland. Contact the Imperial page, contact myself. If you'd like to book some tickets ahead of time, you are more than welcome to pay for them now, and you will have your seats reserved, 100% guaranteed. And we already know a few of the matches. I've mentioned it earlier. As we've just found out there, Persona, Johnny Thunder. And you know what? Just like I did with Flashback, I'm going to say it again. I want Johnny Thunder to win. I want somebody to take that title away from Persona. It needs to happen. I'm sorry, it does. I don't care if it sounds biased or it's definitely not favoritism, because as long as it's not Persona, I don't. At this point, I'm starting to not care. And I don't care if it does sound biased. It needs to be off that man. And of course, the other match that was made, the Sovereign Shield Championship match, Spawn defending against Nate Sawyer. I don't know what to expect from this match. A very good title defense from Spawn, I'm hoping. Nate Sawyer, after what he done to Lilith, can't say he doesn't deserve it. And if you have been paying attention to our socials, folks, we have the St. Benedict's Hospice Rumble. Everybody you see on that picture there will be taking part, including one mystery. And I'm not going to tell you who it is. Why would I do that? Why would I spoil the surprise? Come to Reign of Terror. Find out. Be part of an absolutely amazing cause. St. Benedict's Hospice. It's. I know there's going to be people watching right now, and it's very close to them. It's an amazing cause. And the winner of this Rumble as well takes home that. Absolutely fantastic trophy. Look at that, man. Amazing cause, amazing night, amazing show. I don't know what more I can say to convince you. This Imperial is the place to be. There's no if, buts, or maybes about it. So once again, folks, not Monarchs Madness. We've just had Monarchs Madness. Reign of Terror, Saturday, October 11th. Ethan is in this Rumble. I cannot wait for this match. You're all going to see a new side of me, ready to take on anyone. It's going to be a challenge. And if I don't win, at least I'm going to prove to the fans exactly who I am. And that is the undeniable Ethan Dixon. It's going to be fantastic to see you in there. See what you can do. Let's take one more look at that Rumble poster, and we'll see who's in. We've got Nate Sawyer. We have the undeniable Ethan Dixon. We have one half of the Regal Duos champions in Alfie Jackson. We have the Sovereign Shield champion in Spawn. We have a mystery who, again, I'm not going to tell you. We have, of course, Persona. I've got to put him in there. The other half of the Regal Duos tag team champions, we have Hybrid. If he is cleared. We will see the big Brev in that ring, in that Rumble. Also, right next to him, you'll see who I used to refer to as the Blue Brev, Sulfruna. And last but not least, in the middle, you know what? She's going to get her shot. She's going to try and get her moment. It is Lilith. After everything she's been through, I imagine that little lass has some rage inside of her that she just cannot wait to get out. And I cannot wait to see it. And I cannot wait to see you all there. Tickets, get them on sale right now. I'm going to donate in both... Dominate, sorry, not donate. I'm reading wrong now. I'm going to dominate in both of my matches on this, match. Never giving up, just like I said. Yes, we do know that Sulfruna, there will be a match for Sulfruna there, but we have no idea everyone involved. So, you know, time will tell. The mystery has to be Strange. I mean, as far as I'm aware, Strange is gone. I've not seen, heard, or anything from Strange. Strange is gone. As sad as it is to say. Good friend of mine. But one of his last acts was making me the general manager for IWF, and wherever he may reside right now, I will do him proud. I swear to God, I'll do him proud. So, folks, this is usually the around about the time where I would say thank you for joining us. We'll catch you next time. But no, something very special, because in my hand right now, I'm going to click one button and Monarchs Madness will be available on Patreon. So, ladies and gentlemen, publish. Monarchs Madness is now available on the IWF Patreon. Get yourselves over there. One-off cost of £10, and you can go back and watch that show as many times as you want. Not just Monarchs Madness, Night of Champions and Grand Slam, our very first ever show, are also on the IWF Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your general manager, DJB. This has been another edition of The Rewind, and we will catch you next time for some more highlights from Imperial Wrestling Federation. Wherever you are in the world, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Have a good one.